You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Chrissie, and joining me is my co-host, Thad. Thad, how you doing today?
I don't think there's enough room for me to be saved, and I might have to sacrifice myself. But other than that, I'm fine.
Well, as long as you're a sentient being that's making that conscious decision with all the information available to you, then I'm not happy about it, but I understand.
It's for the needs of the podcast.
Yes.
They outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
Also joining us today is Jenn Tifft of Snap Trek and TrekCore Reviews. Jen, how you doing today? Thanks for being able to be here.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, before we jump into our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly our associate producers, Carl Wonders and Justin Oser. Listeners, you can hear your name added to this list as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/BQN. And with a monthly Patreon subscription of just $5, you can join our meetings of the Hive Mind on the second Saturday of each month. Watch your Patreon messages for details. Okay. Season 1 finale of Prodigy. We have been anticipating some of these story threads coming together for, how long? When did this first start? I feel like it was a year ago.
It was over a year ago.
Was it over a year ago?
It was, okay. All right. Well, see, there you go.
I think Prodigy started in either October or November of 2021.
Lost and Found came out on October 28th, 2021.
Yep.
So it has been over a year. That's crazy.
Yep. I remember staying up until 2 a.m. to watch it in the middle of the night on Paramount+.
A ritual we all know and love.
Yes.
And then we get this lovely cliffhanger, and it's like, oh, okay. I said this last week, too. These kids today, they don't have to wait 3 months to find out if Captain Picard's dead, but that's okay. We want to make sure that we hold their attention and have a happier ending. So, yeah. So we come back from the cliffhanger. What's your initial thoughts on this, Jen, as you are watching all of this going on?
Yeah, because after the end of part 1, it's like, where could they possibly go from here? They've tried literally everything that I can think of, to stop this, and we literally are seeing Starfleet ships, fire on each other. Where are they going to go with this? What are they going to do? I had to think in my head about the logic of the signal not continuing if the protostar was destroyed. I had to reason that part out in my head at first, because I was like, well, what if they're already infected? If they have, because if it's a regular computer virus, if they have the virus, right, you don't need the original virus. Yeah. But now when I look back at it now in Supernova Part 1, that it was kind of like a signal that radiated from the living construct. So I guess it's still, now I kind of get it. Like, I can see that it's like, okay, this is a signal that it's generating to all the ships in the area. And that's why it needs to lure the other ships to it. So it makes sense now to me. But at first I was like, why would destroying the protostar help now? It's too late.
Yeah.
They've already infected Starfleet already.
I had the same
thought. It's already over. But now I've reconciled it now.
Yeah. That's poor design on the part of the Vonnegut. They should have just written a computer virus.
Right. If they can make dreadnoughts like that are that badass, they could write a computer virus.
You'd think. I hadn't even thought about that. All right.
But I actually like the weapon. I think it's interesting. I like the design of it. Like, physically the design is neat. I also like just the idea of it. What a cool way to, if you're maniacally, bent on destroying going to the past and destroying your enemies. I mean, it's a pretty elegant solution.
I mean, who among us isn't maniacally bent on going to the past and destroying our enemies?
Right? Especially this time of year.
God, yeah.
I'm in the Christmas spirit.
Yep. Yep, especially people who work retail. Yeah. There's lots of enemies you want to destroy this time of year.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I know this episode's going to come out after, but let me just say to our listeners who work retail, I understand. Mm-hmm. People are not... people can be terrible, but it's a reflection on them, not you. Take a deep breath and give them the finger when their back is turned. Well, okay, Thad, what's your initial thoughts coming back from this 1 week cliffhanger?
I thought it's impressive how quickly they wrapped it up, I guess.
Yeah.
Last week at the end of the cliffhanger, I thought, oh, they've got something to figure out. I guess I wasn't expecting them to solve the main problem in the first, 10 minutes of the episode. But I think they did a good job with it, and that works well, because we get a nice denouement, and we don't have an endgame situation where the episode basically just ends and we don't get any closure on what happens. So, yeah. I think it worked really well.
Yeah, if the season had ended with them adrift in space in that vehicle they made, that would have been
that would
awful.
teach those kids all about that best of both worlds situation.
Yes, it would.
I told my kids that story about having to wait for that summer because I'm still traumatized by that summer of having to wait. Best of both worlds. I have a very, very vivid memory of sitting on a swing at the playground with all these happy kids around me. I guess I was 8? All these happy kids around me. Happy-go-lucky kids, not a care in the world. I'm like, how can they be having so much fun when we don't even know if Captain Picard is dead or not? It's a very vivid memory. And just internally, this is where my mind was the whole summer.
Jen, that is one of the most Jen stories I've ever heard you tell.
Sadly, yes.
I love it.
But no, I love it. I love it. That's great. And I'm sure Chrissie is thrilled to hear someone who also had to wait, because she brought it up last week, and Alex and I are both like, yeah, we watched it after. It didn't...
Oh, yeah, you youngins, man.
Yeah. They're like, yeah. It was when we were talking about generations, but Best of Both Worlds came into that because it was, the calculation there of people's ages, and I was like, I was 12.
I was 4 years old when Best of Both Worlds.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So you might have seen it. If it was just on. Your parents were watching.
No. My parents, my dad is a Star Trek fan, but he didn't start watching TNG until my sister and I were watching it when it was on in reruns. Gotcha. He had watched... It's funny, because my family has had a huge cabinet of VHS tapes, because they never re-recorded. They always just bought a new tape, so there were all sorts of crazy things recorded. And including the first 3 episodes of TNG. My dad aired Encounter at Farpoint, and then Naked Now, and then Code of Honor, and then he peaced out. And,
Can you blame him? Especially after Code of Honor, because it's like, okay, Naked Now, you're like, all right, well, it's obviously they're just picking up on a story from the old one. Let's see what happens next. And then you have that.
Code of Honor. Yikes.
And what's episode 4? I don't remember.
It's got to be better than Code of Honor.
Well, obviously.
I actually am not sure. Maybe it's
held
Last
out one more
Outpost.
week. No, I think Last Outpost... Oh, I gotta look now. Last Outpost, I think, is number 5.
Well, it depends on
on
how you count Encounter at Farpoint.
Well, okay. That's true.
I personally count it as 2 episodes, even though it aired because production-wise it was 2 episodes. I know if Jim Morehouse is listening, he's shaking his fist right now because he does not agree with that numbering system.
Yeah, well, he also didn't think that the table thing was a table in the most recent
No,
episode.
it is Last Outpost.
Oh, in Schism.
It's
It is, you're right. And it is number 5 by that counting.
And then it's
in Schism.
then you get to either 5 or 6 where no one has gone before, which is the first good episode.
Yeah. I like Encounter at Farpoint.
I don't hate Encounter.
It's got its...
I don't think Encounter at Farpoint works well as a way to get someone invested in the show.
No.
It's the problem.
No.
But
it's
as
a good
someone
episode.
who watched Encounter at Farpoint long after I discovered TNG, I thought it was fine. Oh man, and then it's Lonely Among Us, and then Justice. Man, how did this show last after the first season? If this had been a network show, it wouldn't have. Honestly, I don't think.
Maybe then, because they were a little more forgiving then. It's not like in the 90s or now, where it was just like they would only order 5 episodes and then decide.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what would have happened. If Code of Honor had aired, it would have been the last episode. But it was a first-run syndication, so like all the stations that bought it for that whole season already. So
yeah, so they had nothing else to. Thank the gods.
And there are good episodes in season 1, but most of them are in the back half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Home Soil.
Home Soil is great.
Yes.
The Big Goodbye is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I love Conspiracy.
Coming of Age, Heart of Glory, Arsenal of Freedom.
Oh,
there are some really good ones, and then there's, the other ones.
Well, yeah. We'll have to talk about some of those as we're watching Picard next year. Maybe they'll become relevant in some way.
Well, all I can say is I hope season 3 of Picard is better than Code of Honor.
I don't think it could be worse if it tried.
So.
Oh, don't put that in the universe.
You'd have to actually get a satirist to... No. You'd have to hire a satirist to actually make it worse. Oh, but that just made me think of something, though. I hope... random thing. Maybe the baddie will be in part having to do with the conspiracy alien bug things that they never came back to.
Yes. I love that they reference them in Lower Decks.
Know that.
He's got butt bugs.
Yes.
What a great reference.
Yeah.
And I've probably mentioned this before because it's a little piece of trivia that I like to tell people. But the person who wrote Code of Honor, Catherine Powers, it's the only episode of Star Trek she's written. But she also wrote the 3rd episode of Stargate SG-1, which is basically the same story, but with Mongols.
Oh, yikes.
I remember watching that and thinking it was like the similar... I didn't realize that's interesting. Has she written for anything else, and is it the same story?
One story.
No, actually, she was one of the staff writers for the first season of Stargate SG-1, so she wrote several episodes, most of them better than that one. But what process went through her mind that 10 years later was she thinking, Code of Honor was such a good story, I should redo it?
Let's revisit this. There's a lot of good stuff here.
That feels more to me like somebody's like, we need you to do something tomorrow. And I'm like, what do I already have in my head that I can just change names, But anyway, all right. So yeah, Prodigy definitely better than Code of Honor. And,
for sure.
We'll go from there, yeah. For sure. Right, so we have this premise set forth that if the Prodigy, if the construct is destroyed and the Prodigy would be destroyed with it, that would take care of it, except, of course, we have this issue that if we self-destruct, it's going to just destroy everything because plot.
Because you got a
protostar,
a literal protostar on board.
On board the protostar, yeah.
Which seems like a dangerous design flaw.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if it had been the weapon, the construct that was the thing that was going to cause all the problems, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's what it was supposed to do, fine. But you're telling me that a bunch of Starfleet engineers were like, here, we're going to put this thing in. Of course they did. Because I guess, Warp Core is equally just potentially destructive, I mean, equally, but also.
Yeah.
But it's
That could be brief.
it made me think of the what was the Mirror Universe ship that was Emperor Zorjo's flagship that had the star in the middle of it? On Discovery, I'm drawing a blank.
Was it the Charon?
Yes. The
Yes. Yeah, Charon. Yeah. Yeah. Because I looked at that and I went, that just seems dangerous. More than normal.
It was pretty
If
dangerous
a
to
regular,
look at.
if a regular warp core
Yes, quite.
explodes, it's just an explosion. But if the protostar containment gets breached, it sounds like the destructive force is like...
It's a supernova.
Yeah, it's literally a supernova, exactly.
Hence the title.
Hence the title. Yes.
Yeah. So we can't do that except math.
Yeah, which was actually
and
really
physics.
good math and physics, I thought. I really loved that, the way they did that. They made it... So, yeah, if you disperse X amount of energy over, X amount of space, and then it's... The solution to pollution is dilution, and you can do it.
I love that.
I love it. I thought it was really great, and I think they did a really nice job, too, having that nice graphic that they put up there when they were explaining it. When they do a good job of someone explaining what was just said for the kids, and when I think they had Zero explain what Rock Talk was saying.
Yeah.
And the graphic I thought was really nice. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I would understand this. I think not the underlying principles, but just the like, oh, okay, if we explode if we explode the ship at this time, all the energy will dissipate, and I think it works. I think it's pretty cool, and I'm glad that Rock Talk came up with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
I love
science officer stuff.
that. Yeah. I definitely needed the graphic because I
Yeah, it was a good graphic.
No, I need that. It was good. It was
Yeah.
good. And I was glad they reused it later.
Yeah.
And then I was also very glad that they had the graphic of how the time
Yeah, with the two wormholes.
issue was taken.
Yeah. With the same signature.
That was
I
cool.
love that part. That was so cool. Go Hollow Janeway.
It made me think a bit of The Last Jedi with the hyperspace ship weapon thing.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And her sacrifice,
Mhm.
too. Oh, that's a good comparison. Yeah.
I could see that. I haven't seen The Last Jedi as many times as I've seen this episode, but that's fine.
Yeah, and they both stoically met their ends in the same
Yes.
way. I thought like that's a good comparison. Just like looking out onto the
I don't love The Last Jedi as much as some people, but I also don't hate it as much as other people.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I don't hate it by any means.
I thought
but
it
it's
was
just,
decent. It was a lot
Yeah.
better than Rise of Skywalker, which I will never watch again,
Yeah, I agree.
ever. That movie was just terrible.
Was it the first one back?
No, that was the last
No,
one.
that's the last one. Yeah.
Oh,
The Last Jedi is my
getting-
favorite of the trilogy. For
Okay.
sure.
I actually, I think the first movie of each trilogy is my favorite. Yes, that does mean Phantom Menace is my favorite prequel.
I think Phantom Menace gets a bum rap, to be honest.
I do too. You have to walk into that thinking about that they were gearing it for kids.
Yeah.
And this was meant for the 5 to 10-year-olds of the people who had seen the original Star Wars when they were between 10 and 15.
And when I was
So-
I saw it when I was 13, and I loved it.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
You are a baby.
Yeah, you are, but that's a whole other.
I was in college when that came out, so I wasn't like the target demographic for the pod race or whatever, but I still enjoyed it.
It's all right, yeah.
Okay, wrong franchise. Wrong
Star franchise. We talked about Stargate and Star
Stars.
Wars, and now we need to slip in some Battlestar Galactica, I guess.
Oh, there you go. Another
That's
star.
all you guys. I can't say anything about that.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I don't
You
know
still
anything
haven't seen
about
Battlestar.
No, I haven't. I can tell you that Nope, I can't even tell you that because I can't think of what it was. Wasn't one of the leads the woman that played Stands with a Fist and Dance with Wolves, and the wife on?
I only ever saw
Day?
Dances with Wolves once when I was a kid, so I couldn't tell you.
I've never seen that. It's Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's like his best role.
Is it?
It was his breakout role and it's his best role. The thing is like you have to.
This is Waterworld erasure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I actually do like.
Forget about
I
Waterworld.
actually do like Waterworld. But
I never saw it, but Robin Hood and Dance with Wolves.
Yeah, Prince of Thieves is good.
Dance with Wolves is like if you can step past the noble savage colonialist
Isn't that like
concept.
The whole thing?
Oh my.
It is, but you have to like. Yeah. I mean,
But he
my view of it is colored because like I think I saw it when I was 9.
Right.
You know, whenever it came out, because my dad's into westerns and he had read the book before, and it's good. You know, it's a white man's fantasy, and that's fine. But I mean, it's epic. It's like watching Gone with the Wind. You watch it because it's a good movie.
Another one with a problematic protagonist.
No, it is, but that's my point.
No,
You watch it for what it is, and you go, okay, here's all the reasons that this is not the good attitude to have, but this is a piece of fiction, and it's reflective of the era, and I probably think about that harder because I'm an historian.
All right, Chrissie, I'm with you on this, but if next week you tell us that we should watch Birth of a Nation, then we're done as a podcast.
Okay. I'm not going to say you should watch it because it's a quality movie or any of that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But as a piece of historical, as a piece of historical source, as something, you know, yes. So I think people should watch it if they have any interest in the early 20th century in the United States. But
I think people absolutely should watch it
it
as long as they understand the context in which it was made.
Yes.
Because in addition to being a very eye-opening to just how American society was at the time, it is also it's also used in film school as an example of film because it was groundbreaking as a film when it came out, even if it's
the first epic.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, and oh boy,
I did too. Yeah, I had a Civil War. Oh, it was American History and Film, and so we watched and wrote about Gone with the Wind, and we watched and wrote about Birth of a Nation. And it was eye opening. You know, it was wonderful for a class for somebody who wants to just.
First movie ever screened at the White House.
Crazy like me.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Woodrow Wilson said it was one of the best things he'd ever seen.
Woodrow
one of the
Wilson
most truthful
would say
accounts
that.
he'd ever seen. Yeah. Anyway. Right, so we're going to blow up the ship. Yeah, so I absolutely adored the Jenkinpog the Miracle Worker moment.
Oh, yeah.
Adorable.
I mean, that's just okay. So Jen, did your kids pick up on any of that? I know they haven't seen a lot of Trek.
Oh yeah,
if I remember correctly,
they don't pick up on those, kinds of things.
Well, no, I guess they wouldn't.
Yeah, but I mean,
I didn't ask that in the right way. But did they ask why Mom thought it was so cool?
Yeah, like sometimes I'll laugh, or I'll go like, "Aw," and they won't know, and they'll look at me and they're like, "That means something," So I'm like, "Oh yeah, the engineer, on the Enterprise, he's a miracle worker," and so we have those kinds of little moments because they don't pick up on any of it.
Well, yeah, they don't have the background.
Yeah, which I love because someday they'll watch it again and be like, "Oh yeah, now I get it."
There's a group of people who are going to see Scotty later and go, "That's like what Jankum said."
Yeah. Aww.
And that's really cool. I just thought of that when you were talking about that.
First
So.
Have you shown your kids any classic Star Trek because of Prodigy, or...
I have. They actually asked to watch more holodeck episodes.
Awesome.
After the holodeck one.
What did you show them?
I was like, ooh, them asking was like, I was filled with glee, because normally it's like, kids, you want to watch this? And I have to try to get them to be interested. So I just gave them a bunch of stuff. I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to rob a casino? Do you want to play baseball? Do you want to, and like I rattled off all these holodeck episodes. And do you want to solve a Sherlock Holmes mystery? What do you want to do? Like they were picking a holodeck program, and they picked
you want
baseball.
To delete the wife?
And we go to an Irish pub. And so they picked playing baseball, and they picked. I said, oh, and there's one where Janeway has to be pretend that she's an evil queen, and they like that. They thought that was cool. Yeah, because Janeway is their captain now. Mm-hmm. Like Janeway is their captain, which I just love, and I'm really looking forward to them getting a little older and getting into Voyager and seeing Janeway's first missions. Because they love her. They are Janeway stans.
Same.
Well, that's great.
So it was same for me too. But yeah, so it was a fun little double feature. They thought those two, because those two episodes were also good standalone. You don't need to know anything to watch Bride of Chaotica or Take Me Out to the Holosuite.
Right.
So they really enjoyed those. So, but yeah, the holodeck, they were into that concept.
Nice.
They love that.
Yeah, I don't suppose you can just show them Dixon Hill. There's no frame of reference.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
All right, well,
like Janeway Lambda one.
Yeah. No, I just had a moment thinking about like how my mother loves old movies like that. Like Thin Man is always what it reminded me of. Which I don't even know if you guys know
no idea
Thin
what
Man
that is.
movies. Okay, well, sorry. Just mysteries from the 30s. It was a guy and his wife, and they had an Airedale dog, and because of that, my mother wants an Airedale dog. Anyway, black and white mystery stories. And so she always, I remember her explaining to me, like, that's the kind of thing where Dixon Hill comes from. And it just occurred to me that that's like 80 years old now, if it was happening in the 40s. And so, of course, there's no frame of reference whatsoever. But later,
I don't know why, but that
later.
makes me feel older than realizing that the 50s, that the 80s were 30 years ago, is realizing that the 30s were 80 years ago. Makes me feel even older, and I don't know why. I wasn't alive for the 30s.
Yeah, I don't know.
They just
I think about that kind of stuff with my kids too, because like Back to the Future, the way like when they go back to the 50s and what that means to me, it would mean to like my kids someone going back to the 1980s.
Yep.
Which is so like it's just weird. Time is so weird.
More time has passed since the Smashing Pumpkins released the song 1979 than there had been between when they released it and the year 1979.
Yeah, there's when Carl and I recently did the Austin Powers movies on our James Bond podcast.
Yeah.
And I made the observation that if Austin Powers was made today, he would have been frozen in the 90s.
Oh my. That's Oh no.
Except it's a play on James Bond, so he probably wouldn't.
But yeah.
But if you're just going back the same amount of time.
Yeah. Oh.
Yikes.
There goes the deadly years again. I said this last week. I was like, okay, listeners, you can't see it, but my hair's turning gray. It's the deadly years starting. Anyway.
I'm just going to fade away into a blue fizz like the Diviner did last week.
Sometimes it feels that way, yeah.
I had that moment.
It's wisdom.
A couple years ago, when I was when I went to a Baltimore Orioles game with my sister, and I was just looking at the roster and realized that I was older than every single player on the field, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
how? What is this? And, like, there still are Major League Baseball players who are older than I am, but, like, none of them were on the field that day, and it was just like, what the... Yeah.
Yeah, Miggy's older than you. I think Verlander is, too. Not that you know the Tigers. Anyway.
I know who Verlander is.
Well, yeah, because he's not on the Tigers anymore, so...
I'm aware of the Tigers as a baseball team.
So are most people.
So, yeah, when
aware.
Tom Brady retired, that was like, oh, you were the last person my age in any professional sport whatsoever.
There's professional sports with people. I don't know how old you are, but there's professional sports with people who are older than that. You have to get into things like tennis and golf, but there are.
Right. Oh yeah, golf. Yeah.
Sorry,
some olds.
I feel like there's some people that play really late in hockey too. There's some people that stick around for a long time. Like Wayne Gretzky was pretty old when he retired.
Relatively speaking,
right?
Yeah.
And Mario Lemieux was also pretty old when he retired.
Yeah. Oh shit! Who was that? Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige pitched into his 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, because he started out on a Negro League team.
That would never happen today.
Yeah.
No.
Both the Negro Leagues and the pitching into the 50s.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah.
I meant pitching into his 50s.
That's what I figured. All right, so they tech the tech, and we figure out how we're going to end the signal by destroying the protostar and the construct and everything, and then there has to be somebody on the ship to do it. And freaking Doll volunteers.
I know,
I mean, that's...
I love that part.
I mean, yeah.
That's a captain.
100%, and yeah. How did the kids feel about that? Not that I don't care how you feel about it. You said you loved it, but I was like, I think about how kids watch these, and we don't often have people on who have target demographic in their house. So,
yeah, well, for that it was kind of funny because Hollow Janeway tries to copy your program onto the chip, and she sees that there's not enough space, and so right away she's just gonna die. But I don't think at least my youngest, I don't think my youngest picked up on that. So I just kept watching her. I was like, oh, she doesn't know that Janeway's gonna die. And sure enough, I think my older kids did, but she definitely didn't. And then they play the message, and she's like Janeway's dead. She's so mad, and completely blew her mind. Which is, it's kind of fun to watch from her eyes with that kind of thing, because it's like, oh, that really hit for her. Not just the sacrifice of Janeway dying, but just the surprise that the Protostar kids felt too when they saw that it was just a message, not the hologram. That's
actually pretty cool.
Yeah, so it definitely worked for her, and I think my older kids picked up on that, and they were more like in tune with her sacrifice, versus the surprise of the death itself. But,
yeah, I think that's what they figure when they're writing it.
Yeah.
Again, an example of this is being written more for the parents watching it with the kids.
Yeah.
Although in that case, I think that had a nice effect. It sounds like.
Yeah. It was fun to watch that with her, because I kept holding my breath. It's like, oh, she's gonna be so sad. She loves Janeway. And it really did feel, legitimately a person died. Even though we have Janeway, Hollow Janeway was her own person. She was, as far as I'm concerned, she was as sentient as the Doctor, and and it was very sad, and it was moving, and it was a loving sacrifice, and I cried. I admit, I shed a tear.
It was sad.
Yeah. I question how realistic that was, though. Like, couldn't she have, like, spanned herself onto 2 chips or something?
Yeah, I mean, how much... I mean, she explains it away that, like, her program has expanded so much.
Right.
Since it was on, that there wasn't a way to that quickly get her information off. So I wrote it off in my mind as, like, well, even just to transfer that much data, even if she did have enough chips and stuff, it probably would have taken hours and hours to download.
The time element. Yeah.
Fair.
So.
Yeah, no, and
I
they needed it
it's
for
like,
the
well,
plot,
then put her on
but
2
I'm just
chips,
like,
you know?
I'm thinking, like, that doesn't...
Or make the little block, like
right.
Moriarty.
Oh yeah, the Moriarty block. maybe it took Barkley hours to put him into the little block.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
We do have precedent for this from Voyager with the Doctor, where the Doctor's program was too... Although I... very confused about how they did that in Voyager when they sent the Doctor to the Alpha Quadrant, they couldn't copy him. They had to move him. That part didn't make sense to me. But...
And also there was the backup copy that hung around for 700 years on that one planet.
Except, they couldn't do a backup except that one time when they made a backup for the plot.
When they could.
Yes.
You just gotta laugh at those things.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because Living Witness is a really good episode.
It really is.
Oh, I love that episode. I show that in class to talk about historical sources. Oh, yeah.
Oh, fun.
It's good. They all look at me like, but, you know. But then a few of them kind of, perk up. Talking about things that are old, I realized the other day, because I end my classes with Mel Brooks' History of the World, which has its own problems, but I usually, I go ahead of it. I'm like, okay, this was made in 1980.
I have seen that.
There's some terms in here that we don't use anymore, but it was okay then, And I realized that was the same as if somebody, when we watched film strips that were like from the 50s, like the documentaries that you make fun of now, and just...
Anyway, Jews in Space.
To the tune of Men in Tights.
Yes, we're Jews out in space.
And Hitler on Ice. Which has this whole other level that, like, my students have no idea, because, like, ice capades is not a thing.
Oh, right, yeah. So the joke doesn't even land from that end.
It's just like, that's weird.
That is wild to think about. Did they not do those things, that kind of stuff anymore? Like, because I'm thinking, like, when I was a kid, I remember that you always saw the advertisements for, like, Disney on Ice and stuff like that.
They still do Disney on Ice, but the ice capades aren't a thing anymore.
Did you know...
That was a huge thing.
Did you know that I think it was only for a year or two, but at King's Dominion Amusement Park, they had Star Trek on Ice, very briefly.
No way. Oh, you know what? I've seen a clip of that. Yeah. That's awesome.
King's Dominion.
King's Dominion. Not King's Island.
King's Island. It was probably also at King's Island. Those are
okay.
They were both Paramount Parks. King's Dominion was the one out near us. That's why I was.
Oh, of course. Okay. Yeah, King's Island's the one in Ohio. Yeah. Yeah, I went there and wanted to spend my whole time
King's
with the Star
Dominion
Trek stuff, and my cousins
Virginia,
are like, no.
I think it's near-ish. I remember going there as a kid. They had Klingons walking around, just talking to people.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome. Thad, you wrote up the Doctor, and that was kind of the first thing that came to mind here, is that there should have been contingencies for this, and also I feel like there's something that kind of misses the point of the Doctor in the fact that they created a Janeway hologram in the first place that had the capacity to do this, function this way, grow in this way, become sentient.
I kind of feel like we don't know what makes a hologram become sentient. Like, there's no like standard thing, and to them it was just a program.
Yeah.
Like, and whatever happened with the Protostar kids, at some point she became sentient. From their love.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I loved
Pinocchio.
her. It's Pinocchio. She's a real person from, because people believe in her and love her.
It's
Oh my gosh.
Pinocchio
I'm
and
gonna
it's
cry.
Data.
Oh, it is Data too. Yeah.
I didn't even, until you said that it was about their love, I didn't think of Pinocchio, and then immediately it's Riker teaching him how to whistle.
Oh, yes. I love that.
Yeah. Come on, Pinocchio. Or I forget what he says. He calls him Pinocchio.
Yeah, I think this is just not something that happens very often. I think, I think I think every instance of a of a hologram turning sentient we have seen on film. So there's like Vic Fontaine, the Doctor, Hollow Janeway,
Moriarty.
Moriarty. We get to see him again. I'm so excited.
Oh yes.
I am so thrilled about that. Never would have guessed.
My Jay and my sister and her fiance, we were so excited when we were watching the trailer that he showed up that we completely missed lore.
Yeah, you have to watch it again. You get so excited. Yeah, it's a cool reveal too. Like,
it is. It's beautiful. Yeah. I think you're right. I can't imagine there's other. Well, I'm not going to say I can't imagine. It does not seem like there's other sentient life forms until the plot excuse me.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's other sentient holograms until the plot line will require it, which at some point it will. But I think this is another place. We've been talking about how the shows are interconnecting with stuff. And I think this is another place where we can draw a line with Picard. And I'm starting to wonder if the ban on artificial life is not only about the fact that they got, God, I hate to use the term hacked, but they got, they got into them and they destroyed Mars, but also the question of, this, you could be creating a computer program or you could be creating an offspring, right. And rather than actually deal with that, it's easier for the Federation to just ban it. Obviously not something they're going to be dealing with in Prodigy, but it popped in my head.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I'm going too far.
Yeah, and they're dealing with the augment thing, so maybe they will deal
that
with
too.
With the artificial intelligence thing too. Who knows?
Yeah.
But whoever is lobbying for that ban is definitely going to use this living construct incident as Exhibit A. So why they should have their ban.
But on the other side, you can also lobby, she voluntarily, saved everybody. So there's arguments on both sides of that. But it made me think of Lal and the Admiral, who was so pissy.
Halftel.
No,
Halftel's the one from Best of Both Worlds. What was the...
No, he's not Best of Both Worlds.
Maybe it was Halftel.
Oh, shit. It might have been Halftel. Hansen is the one in Best of Both Worlds.
Well, it's one of those age admirals.
Well, yeah. But yeah, the whole...
Yeah, it is Admiral Halftel.
That issue...
It's Halftel. Oh,
okay,
I hate that
cool.
guy.
He
comes
around by the end when he's talking about how when he was watching Data trying to save Lau's life, you could tell that yeah,
it sure took him long enough. It took him witnessing a father trying to save his dying daughter.
Yeah.
Oh, that man.
I know too many people like that. I know of too many people like that. I always bring up that senator from, I think he was from Virginia or West Virginia, who was completely anti-abortion in no case whatsoever until his grandchild was forming in the womb with a brain outside the skull, and that was the only way to save his daughter's life. So it was like, oh, I guess this is something, It's too often it happens that people have to experience something before they sympathize.
Like Dick Cheney was... adamantly against gay marriage until,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
empathy
it's
for
a
the
realistic.
people, only if it affects them.
Yeah, that's the thing that always like bothers me, because people always say, because that's the thing that people always try to say with in arguments with abortion. They'll say like, well, what if it's your daughter? And the answer is you shouldn't have to make it about your daughter. You should just care about people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or what if it's you?
Yeah.
You know, too. Like, oh, you know, but then you're dealing with people who can't ponder on that. Yeah, so I just was putting that out there, that thing about the artificial life, that maybe it's not, it feels so reactionary in Picard, and it feels so reactionary because of a negative, as opposed to something that people have thought about and said, ooh, maybe this isn't something that we should be allowing until we understand it better. But that's me. Right. So then they get in a shuttle pod that they built from the computer. I love that 3D printer.
I love that so much. What a great idea.
I mean, it makes perfect sense in context. Perfect sense.
Totally.
And I can even, I'll retcon that back to, Voyager, that they, eventually built themselves one of those, and that's why they didn't keep losing shuttles.
And it explains the replicator rations. They couldn't constantly make food with the replicators because they were using all the energy to make new shuttles.
Perfect. Yeah.
So then we get back to Earth, and it's a month later, and we have Janeway and this meeting. I'm trying to think what the good word is. A meeting.
With a 5-star output, which we don't see very often.
It's like a tribunal.
That's true. Yeah, I was gonna say tribunal, but I feel like that's like later. But
well, we're definitely getting.
But yeah, I guess they kind of both are.
Yeah, we're sort of getting
Oh yeah, there's two.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, you're talking about a different scene than the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I was thinking of the first one.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Where she's sitting around with it, and then you have the.
You're right. That's more of like a debrief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where they're later. Yeah.
Like debrief.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. So we find out, we hear Chakotay's message, and we get a solid date. It is 52 years in the future, so now we know that for sure, which we had been questioning before. What do we think? We're going to go running after Chakotay next
season 2 will be Prodigy 2, The Search for Chakotay. Yeah.
That's exactly what it'll be. I love it. Well put.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, because she says in that debrief, anyone, because they say we're going to send an exploratory ship, and she says, I want to be on it. Then she's going to be on it with her new little ensigns in training.
Warrant officers.
Warrant officers, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, but and I just think it's really lovely the way they said it was basically a gift from Hollow Janeway. Yeah. Was that she set the parameters so that it would recreate whatever conditions, so it would resonate the same and you'd get the same time differential as Chakotay's wormhole. That's so cool. Of course, Hollow Janeway did that. You know why? Because that's cool, because Janeway's a science officer, so she would think of, like, what's one last thing I could do with all this? I have all this energy that I'm going to, I'm going to expel. Like, what can I do with it that's useful? And this is also my last final act, and her last final act is to do something cool science-y to maybe help them find Chakotay. Oh, man. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So cool.
I did like that. Did they, if I remember correctly, they said it was an alternate timeline, though, didn't they?
I heard that alternate timeline.
Okay, good. That wasn't just me.
I'm not sure how that works because it's in the future. So, alternate time, I mean, the timeline hasn't resolved yet, so why would it be an alternate timeline? I don't know. I have to go back.
It's alternate because it changed because when they went to the future, he's not supposed to be there, so they're saying it's an alternate timeline because Chakotay's not supposed to be there in the first place.
Because he's there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
At least that's how I took it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if they meant that or if they meant anything, if there was anything else plot-wise that would come into play next season.
Well,
But
it
felt a
technically
little
they're in an alternate timeline because
because
from when we started.
Yeah.
Vindicator and the Diviner going back.
right. So Chakotay's in the prime timeline, and they're in an alternate timeline.
Oh my! Yikes!
They're going to get caught up in Coda. No.
Well, I hadn't even thought all
It
of
gives
Prodigy is an
Janeway a
alternate
headache.
timeline. Now the question
Not
is,
necessarily.
right, so this gets complicated. Are we saying that what
Yeah.
happens in Prodigy is actually the prime timeline? And
I think you got to start with that as an assumption.
okay, but then
So the Diviner going back in time.
No, it's the Kelvin.
well,
Obviously.
it's not the Kelvin. I mean, it's a different.
No, I know.
But when the Diviner went back, it would have created a different timeline.
different timeline.
Because there would be another timeline where
Would
the
it-
Diviner never came back.
Is there? We haven't established that.
Well, there would be. I mean,
Well,
we
anytime
may
you go
not
back in
ever
time,
see
you're
it,
creating that alternate
but
timeline.
it would have to exist
Well,
in the
okay.
same way if we look at the way that the Prime and Kelvin timelines happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was... What am I thinking of? What's the thing that Bashir says is happening when he thinks he's met his grandmother and that he thinks is his own grandfather?
Paradox?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but there was a particular type of paradox.
Predestination paradox.
Predestination paradox.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
the look of your
So-
face when we get back to the station and you find out I never existed.
I never existed. Yep.
Oh, yeah, so that's true. So it might not resolve until they go back to the future. Because theoretically, if Gwen's successful in her mission, then the Diviner will never have gone back to the past.
Right.
But then
that's
she will
what I
have
was gonna
never
say.
have
So
existed.
that's why I'm saying it has to be an alternate timeline. It's the only way it makes sense.
And I think I'm going to say it's a kid's show.
But
and...
that said, I think the important thing to say is it's an alternate timeline.
Bringing up the fact that it's
but it doesn't matter because we're saying that this alternate timeline is the timeline that all other Star Trek except the Kelvin timeline
Right.
takes place in.
Right.
Yes, okay. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
But it had to have created an
it's-
alternate
'cause it-
timeline just because that's how
Right.
that works. Otherwise,
That's how that
yes.
works.
Right.
Yeah.
It would otherwise it creates a paradox where the Diviner never would have gone back in time in the first place.
Right. Well, and that might still
So
happen.
then so to rescue Chakotay, they're not just traveling to the future. They have to travel to the alternate timeline in which
Yeah.
Gwen never went back in which the Diviner never went back in time, so Gwen never went to save the Vanakat, so the planet was destroyed, etc., etc.
If I may,
Yeah.
just to make this worse, or maybe better, we have no reason to think that Gwen is going to be successful in her mission.
That's true.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then it will
it will
repeat
happen
itself.
as it did before, yeah.
But we don't know that either.
But also,
And
But we don't know
also-
that.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know that she won't be successful.
yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
then if she is successful, she'll end up negating her own existence. Because then the Diviner wouldn't have gone back and created a progeny.
Hence the
That's
paradox.
the paradox, yeah. So,
And I have no idea if this is okay, this just popped in my head. Would it not be cool if, of course, she's not going to walk up to him and be like, "Hi, I'm your daughter from 20 years ago." She's not going to do that. So he just knows about this woman who has all this stuff that she's telling him about, what he might be doing in the future past. And her name is Gwendala. And then he creates this progeny and names Gwendala after herself.
it happens.
And it's just a self-repeating...
That's also possible.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
they'll
don't know,
ever
this hurts my
explain it.
head. No, they won't. They won't ever explain that the same way they won't ever explain how they got to Earth. And it's going to be like Mulder and Scully in
but I
the
love
Arctic,
that.
and then they just show up again.
I love that. They somehow managed to get to Earth all by themselves.
And show up in San
a
Francisco
month.
Bay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
that.
love that too, but it's just
Maybe
the
they'll
like
flash
you know,
back to it someday.
Maybe
I can see them doing that.
You know what? I could see Hollow Janeway just programming that automatically.
Yeah,
Just
they,
like,
they
this is
talk
where you're
about
going.
they talk
Yeah,
about
that actually
her
makes
like
sense.
they talk about how they needed Hollow Janeway to navigate because the shuttle didn't have any navigation, so they were counting on that. And then Hollow Janeway gives that speech, like, don't give up. You guys can do it. You guys can figure this out without me.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And she set the autopilot.
I don't think there was an autopilot on that shuttle. Remember?
Well, I meant figuratively speaking. She.
But I just
she
mean, like,
did something.
I think they got there by their combined, wits and determination. They made it. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them.
Yeah. They are. That was cool. That was cool.
Then the tribunal.
Yeah, so then we get to the tribunal.
With a 5-star admiral, which is something we do not see very often.
Yeah.
But I like, so we have them landing in San Francisco Bay and then going to the tribunal, and I like that because it has overtones of Star Trek 4.
Exactly.
Yes. I had the same thought. Yep, and that same idea of, yes, they've committed crimes, but it was for the greater good,
That was another moment with my kids. I went, when they were in the bay, I was like, oh, they're in the bay! And my kids are like, so?
Like, yeah, there's a big body of water, Kirsten.
Like, you don't understand. It's from my favorite movie.
Have they not yet seen the one with the whales?
No, we haven't. They might, you know what, they
That
might actually
sounds
like
a
that.
good Christmas break.
They probably would like that, yeah.
I think they're the right ages for that. Maybe we'll do that next.
Yeah. The only problem, you might have I don't know how old they are, but the little one might start saying double dumbass on you.
It would be an improvement.
Or attempting the hell to communicate.
She's a sassy 9-year-old.
Oh, she's not. Okay, so
I loved Star Trek 4 when I was that age, so.
Yeah.
So did I. It was the best one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do that. I'll report back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really sorry if you end up having to disown your kids because they don't like Star Trek 4.
They'll like it someday. I always tell myself that.
They'll like it. If nothing else, there's some funny stuff that it's like just...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's just going to go stand around in the park. Yeah. Okay.
You'll have to explain what LDS is.
Every version of it. There's this, and then it's this, and it's this, yeah. Right. Lost my train of thought there. Anyway.
I'm talking about Gwen, the unifier.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. She has a name, like, the Vindicator and the Diviner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, what a cool idea.
That raised the hair on my arms.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that's perfect.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
So good.
Yeah, so I felt like the issues around Dahl felt like the issues around Spock and Michael and who got to be in the Vulcan Science Academy, and it just kind of gave me that vibe. I don't know if I can go further than that with it, but an exception to the rule perhaps is where that's going. I guess there's nothing else to say on that. I was like, I don't know where to go with it. And yeah, they're not in the academy, but they're like, I guess they're a bunch of acting ensigns or acting cadets or something.
Warrant officers, so non-commissioned.
Warrant officers.
You get to go on a mission with Admiral Janeway. That's
Mm-hmm.
better than the academy. Who wants to study?
No, it is. But... Okay, yeah, I forgot about NCOs.
Well, because
that totally just fell out of my head.
Until this moment, we've seen like 4 NCOs in all of Star Trek.
That's true. Although one had a very large role.
Yeah, Chief
So I should have remembered.
Well, he started out as a commissioned officer and then was retconned to an NCO, though.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
That's funny.
That is true.
And we have a really cool scene with Rock Talk and a cameo by Dr. Aaron McDonald.
Was that? I didn't know that part. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome because that was her voice, and also the model was designed to look like her too.
Yeah. And in the credits, Dr. McDonald was the name of the character.
Yeah, and they said it was played by Aaron McDonald
by
too.
Aaron McDonald, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dr. Aaron says we can. Wrong show, but still.
That was so cool.
You know, the people running these shows are just this new Trek, however you want to put it. They're hitting all the right keys. You know, they're fans. They know what this stuff means to us. They know where fan service is appropriate and where it's not, and they know how to do it so that it's not annoying and so that it doesn't like pull people who aren't familiar with it out of it. I am so appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Me too.
And some kids might even know who she is because she does those videos explaining the scientific concepts every week to the kids.
That's right.
I don't know. Do your kids watch those, Jen?
I like that.
I haven't watched those.
Okay.
And the one that and
Watch
once in a while, Janeway does one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that they pop
I should
up
get
for
on
me
that.
because I'm subscribed to Paramount Plus's YouTube channel, and they post them there.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, having wandered around the episode a bit, inside and outside of it, and in some kind of thing, is there anything else we want to talk about with this?
I thought it was cool the moment when the protostar does the jump and all the starships, the Federation starships go dark, which I thought was really cool. But like they cut to the Klingon on the bridge, and you get a little bit of a motif of the Klingon theme music from motion picture.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and the ending music is the Trek theme. Yeah. Which I like that, yeah. I didn't.
The music's really good in Prodigy. Nami Melloman did an amazing job.
Seriously. The music's lovely too when when all the kids are in the makeshift shuttle and they're getting thrown out the back of the plane. It's like scary but lovely and melodic, and you know, it really fits the mood of you know, the otherwise silence, you know, without any dialogue, you know, just the music there to set the tone. And it's lovely. We can talk about Zero's new body. I hate it.
Oh God, I totally forgot about that.
Thanks, I hate it.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate or just, you know?
I will get used to it. I will.
Yes.
I will be fine with it. I'm sure by the first episode I'll be fine with it. But I kind of like his little ragamuffin body that he cobbled together himself. You know what I mean? So now he's like all polished and everything, which good for him. Good for them. I apologize. Good for them that they're
We making
all,
the same mistake also.
I'm sorry. You know, I'm glad for them that they've got this polished new suit and they seem very happy about it, you know. And I'll get over, but I just have a soft spot for their little ragamuffin suit that they themselves cobbled together, even though they are non-corporeal. I just love that. Yes. I love it. So I will get used to it. But yeah. But you know, it's just the end of an era. I guess it's the same way like Murph hatched, and you know, you'll get used to the way Murph looks, but you know, it's just the end of an era. Got to get used to change.
Yep.
Yeah,
I thought it was interesting they made it all white, which does lend me to think they are going to be going on a medical course in life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good reason for it to be white. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I thought it matched the
chief medical officer of the yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll put on uniforms. Maybe that's like you know.
Well, even in the new suit,
maybe
they
we
had
were
a
seeing
little,
them naked.
Maybe, but they did have a comm badge on. Even.
Yeah. I know. I don't think they're going to do that.
You can be naked and wear
it would be
a comm
funny.
badge.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
True.
How they attach his some kind of future tech.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, all Starfleet officers have like a little magnetic thing that's implanted in them right there, so it doesn't matter. That's why they can just take it off and put it back on, and there's no pin.
Oh my!
And that's why when they resign their commission for an afternoon to do something illegal, they can come back. They haven't gotten the thing taken out yet, so it just
There you go. They're still in the system. I thought
I have now just created a headcanon where they had to do that because Riker kept going around on Risa without a shirt and they couldn't get a hold of him.
Oh my
Okay. I don't know why that just popped in my head, but yeah.
It works for me.
Anyway, you were saying.
I'm distracted by the visuals of Riker on Risa.
Yeah.
I mean, who isn't distracted by visuals of Riker? I mean,
Oh no kidding.
Right? I've got the Riker calendar behind me right now.
Nice. Nice.
oh, did you get the Jonathan Frakes calendar?
I did, yeah. The Jonathan Frakes calendar.
Did you get the one for next month? For next year?
Did.
Yes.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got mine too.
Nice.
Including that
gonna
13th
look
month
this
Oh,
of
up.
Frakes.
Yes. Frakes-tober or whatever it is. Love it.
It has the Frakes solstice in it.
That's just amazing.
Oh, that's funny.
And it came with a little temporary tattoo of Riker's face.
Yes, it did.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, it's
I found it.
okay.
Yeah.
You found the Frakes.
It's amazing.
It's
The Frakes
Brandon
calendar.
Bird's the artist who made it.
Yes.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
great.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. In a wonderful, wonderful way. All right. Well,
But we digress.
anything
What
else
else is new?
to discuss about this episode? Yeah, no. This is.
And the one other thing is,
We're gonna have to rein it back in when we have an hour and more serious stuff to talk
oh
about.
man.
Nah, it's fine. Our listeners can get 3-hour episodes. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
More content.
And, those won't be a
Exactly.
pain to edit or anything.
No, never.
No.
No, I would just wanted to mention the last scene with Dal and Gwen, which I thought was quite lovely.
Yes, of course.
Such a lovely moment, especially after last week, which I was actually kind of not happy about. I thought that this was a nice redemption for her. This was very tender and touching, and a nice goodbye for them. Not forever goodbye, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was lovely. And I think it's nice. I think it's nice too. Then next season we'll have the same way we had the Protostar and the Dauntless. We'll have Gwen's adventure going to Solemn and everyone else's adventure with Janeway. So there'll be two
I didn't even
different
think about that,
ships
yeah.
that we're following again. And who is going to be accompanying Gwen on this mission? I think there could be some interesting answers to that question.
That is, yeah.
Okana.
O'Connor's
pick
just
her
be
up
in
and
every
take her
season. Like they just run into him randomly. He's like the mud
Yeah.
of Prodigy.
I kind of just assumed that they'd be dropping her off on the way, but no, she wasn't there at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because they were watching her ship go to Solemn. But and I don't know if the plan is just to drop her off in Solemn or if they're going to initiate first contact early, or or send somebody with Gwen. I don't know if they're going to assign someone from Starfleet to, because theoretically that kind of is a violation of the Prime Directive too. If they're just going to here we'll put this random person and insert them into the society.
I was going to bring that up, and I forgot to put it in the outline. How are they going to deal with this now that they know that that they have the results of a botched first contact, but they don't know exactly why?
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. And then the other crew's going through a wormhole to the future to find Chakotay. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
On, I can guess what ship they're going on too, which, it might be very exciting. Give a ship we knew from the past the letter A. Go on it. Voyager A, maybe.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. I like that.
Because Janeway says, because they see the new Protostar class. I'm like,
Right,
that's not her ship. That's, badass ship.
Oh, right, because we know that
she's...
they get to J in the future, so...
Yeah, and she says, I have a much bigger plan for us. So they're going to get a fancy ship that Admiral Janeway is going to command, so, she's going to... Oh, and they said, that she could have the ship of her choosing. when she's talking in the hallway, she's like, I get to take you guys as warrant officers on the ship of my choosing on this mission. What's she gonna choose? What would Janeway choose?
Well, and we know from things that Riker said in All Good Things that flag officers get to choose their ships, because that's how he kept the Enterprise D. So it would make sense for her to take a Voyager A.
Yeah, freaking awesome.
Oh, I love that. I hope that's what it is. Now I'll be disappointed if it's not.
Either way, I'm sure it'll be a cool ass ship.
Oh, it will be. It will be indeed.
I am sad the Protostar is gone. I love that little ship.
It was a nice ship.
Cool little ship.
Yeah.
But
now we're going to have the Protostar A.
Yeah, we're moving on. Bigger and better.
Yeah, that was a cool ship. So, Jen, thanks so much for joining us for the discussion today.
Thank you for having me.
Random places it went and all the rest. And where can listeners find you online? And is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Eda Quarks, and my podcast is Snap Trek. And like you mentioned, I write the Prodigy reviews for TrekCore. So, yeah, turn to TrekCore for all your Star Trek news.
Indeed, yes. I agree.
Yeah, no, I've joked in the past that my catchphrase on this podcast is according to TrekCore, because I always use TrekCore as a major reference for this podcast.
Awesome.
Thad, where can people find you when you are taking up your new position as an NCO working for Janeway?
Oh, man, that would be awesome. Best place to find me is probably still on Twitter for the moment. I am at Tyrannicus. That's Tyranicus. We're going to keep saying that for like the next year.
I know. I'm laughing because it might be gone by the time this comes out.
But you can also find me on Mastodon at Tyrannicus at 10forward.social. And you can hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl about James Bond adjacent topics called License to Spiel. That's license spelled with a C like the British do it. Chrissie, where can people find you when you're not appearing in a cameo role on Star Trek?
Oh, please. I can be a Starfleet historian. We've only ever met two, and they both died.
No, the guy in Big Goodbye didn't die.
Job.
What?
The guy in the Big Goodbye was injured, but he did not die.
Oh, he didn't die. You're right. But we never saw him again.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, I guess, what happened to him.
Yeah. And the other one went off with Khan.
Yes.
That was not a good look for historians, particularly female historians. But anyway, in addition to here on Infinite Diversity, speaking of history, you can find me on History with the Szilagyi here on the BQN. That's a twice-weekly history short podcast that I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. And I'm also happy to chat about our shows in the BQN Collective on Facebook. And as long as Twitter's around, I am there as well at the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia. And there I tweet about Star Trek history and leftist politics.
Don't forget all our other great shows on BQN, like Galaxy Class, All Good Things, Union Federation, What's the T-Bev, Mickey's Marvels, and History with the Szilagyi. And exclusively for our Patreon members, there's It's Green with Mark White and Amy's Math Moment.
Oh, yes, and I have to update this because there's also Treksperts, which is awesome.
We keep forgetting that one.
Thank you so much for tuning into Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the great show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
If you want to reach out, you can find the network on Twitter at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective. Not sure what we'll be talking about or exactly when our next episode will be, because this is the end of Prodigy. We've got Picard coming in February, but we'll probably be in your ears for something in between there. We'll let you know. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah. There's a novel in there, and we should probably do a season 2 Picard retrospective.
Must we?
Yeah. No, we don't. No, we must not. It's.
I just don't know if I.
Never mind. Forget I said that.
I don't hate the idea, but I also. Yeah.
All right.
I'm worried. Like the more and more I get removed we're the farther and farther we get from season 2, the more and more I'm annoyed at things that happened in season 2, and I'm just worried that if we do a retrospective, I'm mostly just going to be ranting for an hour.
Okay, so we won't do that. That'll work. We'll be back. That's a good place to end it there.